Hey guys, Alexander here, and today I'll be doing a book tag. I haven't done any since my first video, my first booktube video, which was the newbie booktube tag. And before I joined booktube, or before I even thought of creating a channel, I think book tags were my favorite thing to watch on booktube. And I thought that when I eventually, or because I never even knew I'd have a channel at the time I was watching booktube, but I thought that if I did start one, these book tags would be the things that I did the most, or the kinds of videos that I made the most. But turns out I haven't made any since the first one, and I'm not entirely sure why. I think I just assumed that you had to be tagged first, and since I didn't get tagged, I thought I couldn't do them and just had to wait till someone tagged me. But I've come to understand that that's not how it works, and you don't necessarily need to wait to get tagged. You can just do them if you find them fun and you want to participate. So maybe I'll do more of them in future. But yeah, this time I was tagged though by Nthabi from Nthabi and Her Books. I'll link her channel in the description down below. And yeah, I don't know there's anything else to say in terms of an introduction. So let's get into the questions. The first one says, tell us a little about yourself. So my name is, which one is correct? Anyways, my name is Alexander Kosi Sochukwu Ogwejafor. Those are very strong and hard sounding names, but I guess Alexander means defender of men, from what I understand. The last time I checked, I think it's a Greek name or so. Who knows? Huh? I should know. But yeah, it does mean defender of men, but I'm not entirely sure if it's a Greek name, but it might be. Anyways, the names that I'm sure of though, my middle name, Kosi Sochukwu, means God's will be done, or will of God be, or the will of God be done. It's an Igbo name. My last name, Ogwejafor, it means a just war, or you could say it means a fight where you're not at fault, so someone else is at fault and you have to fight. Yeah, those are what my names mean. And yeah, I'm from a small state in Nigeria called Anambra, in the eastern part of Nigeria. Even though that's where I'm from, I don't live there. Um, I live in Lagos, which is where all the money is, even though I don't exactly have the money. But yeah, so I live in Lagos, and every once in a while I travel back to my hometown to visit. And yeah, what do I do? Software engineer. I've been doing this for um, I think 2 years now. And before then, I used to work in customer service. I hated it because I used to do the call center type thing. Yeah, I thought it sucked, and I couldn't wait to switch roles. And thankfully, I was able to switch to something that I enjoy doing more, which is software engineering, coding, that kind of thing. And yeah, it's been some fun so far. And besides that, I love to read and watch movies, which obviously is why I have a booktube channel. I think I've talked too much for this one question. Let's get into the next question. It says, a black author you love that a lot of people don't know about. This one was tough because I don't know if I know any author that I think lots of people don't know about. But when I was thinking about the question, I thought it would be nice to give love to one of the authors that I thought has written something amazing. And it's not that people don't know about her. I just think that I feel like the series should be mentioned more, or she should be mentioned more because of how awesome her books are. And she's N.K. Jemisin, and she wrote the Broken Earth trilogy, which I think is one of my favorite fantasy series ever. I loved it so much. I'm not going to say anything about the plot of the books, because spoilers, and I think there's I think it's one of those books or series that you should go into knowing as little as possible about the books. But most of the times when you hear people talk about the fantasy books that they love, you hear about the magic systems, the characters, and the world building, that kind of stuff. But I think what stands out the most about the Broken Earth trilogy is the prose. It's written in second person, and I thought it was done beautifully well. So yeah, N.K. Jemisin is the author that I think that I love. That a lot of people, well, a lot of people know about her, but I just don't think she gets as much love as I think she should get. Hmm. I almost bit my tongue there. The next question is my favorite book about the Black experience. This one too was tough when I was thinking about it, because just like some of the other videos that I watched that did this tag to, um, they couldn't exactly understand, like everybody doesn't have one understanding of what the Black experience is, right? But anyways, the book I came up with here is An Orchestra of Minorities, written by Chigozie Obioma, which is an author that I've talked about in a video that I did, I think 2 videos ago, if I remember correctly. I talked about The Fisherman and how he is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Nigerian authors. But yeah, what I love about this book the most is how he explores the Igbo mythology. It talks about the chi, who is like your guardian of sorts. Not exactly like your guardian angel, because the chi doesn't exactly do any much guarding, but he sorts of like the chi sorts of like represents you in the spirit world. And I just loved how he used that to tell a story, and most especially the Black experience as it relates to this question is in that book, especially for Black people who are in countries that are terribly run, like the one that I am in. It shows how like our dreams of everybody wanting to leave our motherland in search of like greener pastures. It shows how that could have very, very undesirable outcomes and consequences. So yeah. Next question. So the next question here is favorite book by a Black author. And for this one, I picked The Book of Night Women by Marlon James. Marlon James is one of my favorite authors ever. And this book was one of the first books I read that was read by my book club. So I have very, very fond memories of it because of the conversations that we had because from the book. And the prose here, just like the Broken Earth books, is weird. But this time it's not that it's written in second person, it's that it's written in patois, like the Jamaican patois. And the story here follows it's a story of a young woman, Lilith, who was born into slavery on a plantation. And it sort of like shows her struggles to challenge the boundaries of what was expected of her. I think that's how the book described um, the plot. And he explores a lot of themes. I find it's a really, really rough and triggering book to read because of the themes he explored and how graphic a lot of the scenes in it are. But I loved it anyways. And I love how Marlon James unapologetically tells the stories. It's a really amazing book. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Yeah, the next question. So the next question here is recommend a Black queer book. So I think my pick for this one is Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James too. Um, because the scope of this book blew my mind. What he was able to accomplish, the amount of research that could have gone into writing something as huge and as amazing as this, I can't even begin to imagine. And it's a very, very African fantasy series exploring some of the taboo topics that Africans do not like to talk about. I thought the book was a madness. So it follows the story of Traka, who is known for his skills as a hunter. So he does have supernatural powers of being able to sniff people from miles away, and how he goes in search of a missing boy with a group of very, very unusual characters. Yeah, this book was really, really amazing, and I love how he explored themes of sexuality, especially how he showed that in Africa we have a history of a lot of the sexualities that people don't necessarily talk about in this day and age. It was just awesome to read, and I found that I learned a lot while reading that book. Anyways, the next question. Um, a book with a black person on the cover. I guess this is the one pick in this tag that I didn't enjoy reading as much, but I thought the cover was really pretty. So if it's Binti by Nadia Korafor. The art was pretty cool, and it has a picture of a young woman from the Himba tribe. I think I'll find the picture and post it or add it somewhere around here while I do the edits. But yeah, I thought it had a really cool cover. But the book in itself, it was a really short book, felt more like a novella. um I found that I didn't enjoy it as much. Yeah, it's actually a series, and I think there are three books in the series, but I think I read the first one, and I did not bother reading the other two books. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it very much, but you could check it out. The book has very, very good reviews, and a lot of people seem to have enjoyed it, so you know how it goes. You could check it out. The next question is give me a second here. Oh, book by black author that makes me happy. uh this goes back to my last video that I did about how I found that I haven't read that many books by black authors that don't tackle very, very light-hearted topics, and they are very, they are centered on themes that you'd consider to be very, very heavy and sometimes triggering. But the last book I read, the mechanics of Vienna Goa, I think it did a really good job of being lighthearted while still trying to explore some important themes. So that would be my pick. The Mechanics of Yanagwa by Michael Afenfia. I thought the book was really funny and it made me laugh a lot. So yeah, that's the black book that makes me happy. I don't know that it makes me happy because I do have some reservations about the book. There are some things I do not like about it. But yeah, for the purpose of this tag, I think that book will have to do. Yeah. The next question is book about black author coming in 2021. For this one, I have a pick, which is Ace of Spades by Farida Abike Iyimade. The author has a Nigerian name, so I just assume she's Nigerian because she has to be. But I came across this book a while ago, and it's a YA book, and it's going to be out this year. And the people who've read advanced copy of the book say it's good. Um, doesn't mean that it's going to be good, but we'll take their word for it. And yeah, it's a YA book, like I said, and it's supposed to be a mystery novel, and it follows two students in a school, um, and they have an anonymous texter who threatens to expose some secrets that they have. Yeah, that's all I know about the plot of the book. But she's African, she's Nigerian, so we're going to give her some love and hope that when it comes out, the books are good, or the book is good, not books, just one book. Yeah. And what's the last question? Give me a second. Um, um, the last question says recommend some black booktubers. Now, all the black booktubers, well, not all, most of them I know have already done this tag. So to have to filter through and find the ones who haven't done it, and they might have. But there are some Nigerian book tube channels that I found, and I love to recommend them. So there are Books with Rachel Ayo and Sweet Escape with Voke. I hope I pronounce her name well. And yeah, the last one is the Book One podcast. I enjoy their content, so showing them some love. And yeah, I'll tag them in the description down below in the tag some booktubers questions. I think that's the last one. So yeah, that's it for this tag. I think I did a lot of rambling, but hopefully it does the tag justice. Yeah, that's it from me today, and I'll catch you in the next one. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Peace.